So Donald Trump wants to send the military to as many cities as possible. That's his goal here, to take control. And what are we going to do? We're going to pepper spray frogs. For reals. That's actually a real video. What? And this is my hometown, Portland, Oregon. Says ICE rolls Portland protester away on flatbed cart. As Trump says, city is burning to the ground. And so right now, Trump has to convince everyone that there is a clear and present danger, that it's an emergency. For Trump, everything has to be an emergency, and then therefore he can, seize control of everything. Trump claims Portland is burning while federal agents escalate ICE protest response. So I guess we're sending in more people. Trump's ordering, spending all this money to pepper spray frogs. And then he also wants to fire you. Listen to this.
Well, I can tell you, I'll be able to tell you that in 4 or 5 days if this keeps going on. If this keeps going on, it'll be substantial, and a lot of those jobs will never come back. But you're going to have a lot closer to a balanced budget, actually.
So a lot of those jobs will never come back. So Trump's talking about firing everyone, right? He's also talking about hiring people, and they're always hiring for ICE. This is the society that he wants. It's basically a Squid Game kind of thing where you get everyone to fight each other for the amusement of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And it also says here, please order crowd away from Portland ICE office as Kristi Noem set to visit the city. Again, this is my hometown. So Kristi Noem is in town. You can see this right here. They drive by the protesters. You can see it. It's like not that big. The report said about 25 protesters. There was more media than protesters, what it said. But she's supposed to go there and convince everyone that everything is so dangerous that therefore Trump is right. We have to send in National Guard. Now we're driving into the ICE office. And then what they're doing right now, they're doing a PR blitz. And I'm showing you their blitz because when you actually see what they're trying to do, it's frankly ridiculous. So, well, I'll show you them. This is them. She's greeting everyone, and oh yeah, so great.
Met you in Springfield.
Met you in Springfield. Yes, fantastic. Okay. Now Noem's going to go in the office. And what is this urgent thing that Kristi Noem has to do at the ICE facility? I can't make this stuff up. She's going to say, guys, we need to pray. For reals.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day and the time to spend together, Lord. We just ask that you bless our time together, that you give us good fellowship.
Can't make this stuff up. That's their plan, is to convince you that Portland is dangerous, to convince you that Portland is burning. We need to spray the frogs. And then when you get there, your whole plan is to pray.
Keep them safe, Lord, but then also that you continually bless each and every one of them.
It's you know who they're targeting with this stuff. I'm sure you guys know. It's they're basically trying to target Fox viewers and small towns that believe in this kind of stuff. And if you do, I'm not making fun of your beliefs. I'm making fun of the government who convinces people that the most important thing is praying. And all we have to do is put our faith and trust in Trump. That's essentially what this boils down to, that they're hoping there's a large enough group of people out there that don't care about jobs, that don't care about numbers, that don't care about facts, because why do facts even matter? And we just need to pray. And then you got Noem, who again, this is all about convincing you that everything is dangerous and that Trump's come to save you. So they have to convince you that Portland is burning. And so she's actually on the roof of the, I guess, ICE facility. They're pointing out, okay, where's the burning parts? Where is it? they're looking where the protesters are, because again, they have to convince you everything is dangerous. And there's like this group of protesters over there, okay? You can see right there. And there's a guy in a chicken outfit. This is their stuff that they're putting out, right? They're yelling at each other, okay? And then they show another group of protesters. And again, they have to convince you that Portland is so dangerous that we need to send a National Guard and we need to pray. That's their plan. And then Benny asks her about what's going on. Listen.
Secretary, do you have a message to the protesters, especially the man in the chicken outfit?
The man in the chicken outfit? I just see him now. Goodness sakes. He could do better. Our goal is that people would peacefully protest, but that we would still be allowed to enforce the law in this country. So it's too bad they're uneducated and ill-informed.
So Kristi Noem claims that, I guess the protesters are uneducated and ill-informed. And this is the dangerous thing that they have to address, right? They had to show up in Portland because the streets are on fire, according to them. And so their plan now is to have Benny Johnson and this other guy named Nick, this comes from Benny, They're going to drive around Portland and try to show you the worst parts of Portland and convince you that we need to send in National Guard. Listen to them here.
Yo, what's up? We are on the ground in Portland, Oregon with the legend himself. Somebody who's probably going to be made sheriff around here by the time it's all over. Nick, what's up?
They said that we were going to change the name of this town to Sortland instead. So, that's how big this lawsuit is.
Yeah. Give us an update, man. Way to beat the case.
Absolutely.
Way to beat the case.
But you know how we did it? We put in a demand for discovery. We wanted to know the coordination between Antifa and the police department. They looked at that and they're like, never mind, case dismissed. So, unfortunately for them, we're going to keep pushing that, even though they've dropped the charges. So, stay tuned. I'm just happy to be in the back of a police car without handcuffs on this.
That's right. We're here to cover Kristi Noem, who is here right now, and it's very interesting. She's meeting with the governor of Oregon, and it's going to be a wild day. We're going to go to the ICE facility. You know it well.
And that's their plan. And it's interesting too, we heard about this plan before, whether they were going to use the Benny Johnson guy, Nick guy, like basically right-wing influencers to convince you everything's dangerous. And I promise you, Benny's probably going to go to find homeless people in Portland and try to show you how bad Portland is. That's what they're going to do. That's their plan. And I also want to be honest with you guys. There's homelessness in America. That's absolutely true. You're correct, Benny, that there is. And in fact, I would like to help people with these kind of things. I would like to help, clean up crime. I would like to help make, America a better place. I completely agree with the thing. But I don't necessarily think the solution is to send in the National Guard, who aren't trained for this kind of stuff, right? Or send in Noam to come and pray. I don't think that's really the real solution. In my opinion, you fund local governments, be it with help with transportation, help with affordable housing, help with healthcare, help with education, like all these things that this right-wing people want to destroy. And it's really frustrating to me because what they do, they say that they're doing one thing, but it's really something else. And that's why I have to just show you guys who these people are. And oftentimes that their followers, be it the mega base, they don't understand a lot of stuff that's going on, which I just try to educate you, right? Because they don't understand, the Trump people can fool them is essentially what it is. It's a group that is made up of either people who are, grifters, like your Benny Johnson or your Trumps, and then people who are fooled by the grifters. That's basically what it ends up being. And then we're trying to just call this stuff out, as you guys can see, because for me, when I see what's going on, say the news today, you can see my last video, furloughed workers not guaranteed back pay after shutdown. Like, I think this matters to people. I don't think sending the National Guard is going to help. I don't think praying is going to help. I think, honestly, treating workers with respect is this thing that we need to be doing, but Trump's all about firing people and not paying people. And then when you talk to Mike Johnson, right, supposed to be the Republican in the House, what does he do?
I'm always comforted by this passage in the Psalms, the Old Testament, the Christian Old Testament, but this is the Psalm of the Jewish people, the Psalm of David, Psalm 37. And it says, commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do this. I'll read it to you. Trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, the justice of your cause like the noonday sun. It says, be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when men succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. I told my friend Sid on the radio, and he was comforted by it, and I think others will be as well. We're all comforted by this. I know that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is fully in control. We'll let that rest there.
So that's their plan, is to basically convince you that Trump is working with God or Trump's the hand of God, and just put your faith in Trump. So regardless of any sort of facts or anything you see with your eyes, just forget about all that stuff. Forget about your jobs and your pay, because who cares? Just treat Trump like he's God and believe in the good book, I guess. That's their plan. And I'm just like, how many people out there are going to fall for this stuff? Gavin Newsom, this is what he tweeted out. He says, Proverbs 14:21, whoever despises his neighbor is a sinner, but blessed is he who is generous to the poor. And guys, you may not know this, because I bring this stuff up. It's a sensitive topic for many people in USA. I completely understand this, guys. I completely understand. More than you know, actually. I was going to be a youth pastor when I was young. I was heavily interested in this kind of stuff. I ended up being a professor instead, because I realized if I want to work with young people, I could work with a broader base of young people if I go into that. I read the Bible a couple of times, so I used to be heavily into this stuff when I was a kid, so I'm well aware of these kind of things, and I'm not against people believing and helping other people. I'm not against it at all. In fact, one of the things that I learned was care for your neighbor, right? And take care of the poor. I actually completely agree with this kind of stuff, and I find it really, I guess the right word you could use, blasphemy if you want, or hypocritical, whatever word you want to use, that you have these Trump kind of people who are, I'll just be frank with you guys, fake Christians, who use this idea of faith and religion to keep people in line while they'll cut your jobs, cut your healthcare, cut your education. And, you know, also just in terms of just government as a whole, I would like a separation of church and state. I don't think it's anything crazy, right? I don't want the state to be controlled by religious people. I don't want my tax decisions based on prayer and, you know, looking for the Bible. Let's just keep these things separate. I have no problem with people practicing whatever religion you want to practice. I think that's, you know, your right as a human to believe whatever you want. But when it comes to law and running the government in an efficient way, just keep these things separate. And what's so crazy about this stuff is oftentimes the people who watch Fox News, et cetera, they complain about other countries who are the wrong religion and, oh, why are they so religious, et cetera. But essentially what it boils down to at the moment, the Trump people have figured out their formula. Their formula is to fool people basically and say, hey, you know, don't worry about anything in this earth and just focus on what's going to be in heaven and put your faith in Trump. And I just have to point this stuff out too, because today became really, really overt. When things get so bad, their last strategy now is just, okay, believe in the Bible and therefore everything will be great. So that's what's going on. I want to hear your thoughts on this, and I'll catch you all in the next video.